Hello, this is Andrine, Jewish American Priestess. I'm coming to you today with our Hebrew reading about the topic of love, and not talking about romantic love necessarily, although that can be included, but the love that one has from the divine, the love that one has for oneself, and the love that gets us through every moment of every day. We're going to do a Shield of David spread today with the Hebrunes and bring in a oracle card at the end. I'm just doing one basic reading, timeless reading. Whenever you find this, it will bring the feeling of love to you. So let's start out by just reaching in and seeing what's coming down from the divine. Let's see what's coming down from above. Our first letter is Tet. And the letter Tet is the number 9 in Gematria. And there's a part of it that speaks to renewal, regeneration. Some say that it looks like a curled up snake. And that snake is one that always sheds its skin and renews itself along its path as it outgrows the skin that it's been wearing. Tet is the first letter of the word Tov, which means good. It's the goodness that's within a thing. And it is a container. You can see it looks like a cup or a basket, some kind of vessel, maybe a jar or a clay pot. And the Tet speaks to the goodness that is within that. It can also be seen as a womb. And since it is the number 9, it corresponds to the 9 months of gestation in the human body. So what's coming down from the top is something that is nurturing you now, or something that you're nurturing within you, and it is a good thing. Something good is coming, some sort of renewal, some future birth, some idea or concept is coming to fruition soon. The next position in our shield is the position of what do we know about this situation? What is the known aspect? And we'll just take out another letter for that lower right corner. And the letter we have is the letter Chet. What do we know about this situation? Chet is the first letter of the word Chai, which means life. So something that brings life, or that is lively or feels alive, is what we know about our situation here, what we know about the love in our life. It is alive, it's transforming. Chet is also the first letter of the word Choshek, which means darkness. And darkness serves to illuminate the light. So there's a dark side of it. It's not a bad thing, but there is shadow that comes with love as well. And Chet is the foundation of speech. In the Sefer Yetzirah, the book of creation, each of the letters corresponds to a foundation of some kind. Sometimes it's a sense, sometimes it's a transformation from one thing to another, but Chet is speech. And so something that we know about the situation is that speaking is important. Maybe speaking our love out loud, hearing and speaking what needs to be spoken, to bring life into the situation, to work through the darkness. Some people see chet as a marriage canopy, a chuppah which is spread over a couple who are getting married as a symbol of protection from the divine. And chet is the number 8, which is the infinity symbol. So it speaks to the infinite, something that will be present forever, that has always been here, that will be ongoing for eternity. And that is true of love, that we have love within us, that the divine has created us with love, through love, and in love, that we have that love within us, have always had it, that we are created of it. We're made of love. And that's something in which we can trust. And that is what's known about our situation. What's unknown about our situation goes in this lower left corner. What do we not see yet? What we don't see yet is the letter Hey. It's a nice balance here. The letter Hey is the first letter of the word Hineni, which means here I am. It is the answer that the divine is given when someone is called to service. They call the name, and the person answers, Hineni, here I am, available, ready for service. And it's the answer to the question that was asked in the garden when Adam and Hava were walking in the garden after they had eaten of the fruit. They were asked by God, where are you? And they wouldn't answer. They were ashamed. And now we can answer, here we are. Hineni, here I am. Hinenu, here we are. Because we know that we have love. We know that we are created of love. The Hey is also the sense of sight, being able to see our way clear of a thing, being able to see the love in everything, being able to see ourselves in the midst of love. So the foundation of speech with the chet, and we have the foundation of sight with the Hey. It is 2 of the 4 letters of the divine name, the Yud Hey and the Vav Hey. It's like the arms and legs of the divine, that being present. And so that's maybe what we don't see yet. We don't see yet the unseen. It's interesting because it is the sense of sight, but it's unseen right now for us. We don't see how we can remain present, perhaps, or how love is present in our life. And when we don't see that, we can turn back to know that in our life we are made of love, and that all is made of love. The lower point on the star brings us to the root foundation, the root cause of our situation. What has got us to where we are now? And here I have Lamed. That's lovely. Lamed is the letter that begins the word Lev, Lev meaning heart. So what's gotten us here is our heart. Lamed is the one letter that reaches above the line in Hebrew, so it's about reaching up toward the divine, reaching up with heart. It's also the first letter of the word to learn and to teach. We have things that we are learning, that we have learned, and that we are maybe learning through teaching. And they are bringing us back to our heart. The lumen corresponds to the intestines in the body, so it has to do with taking in nutrition, discerning what is helpful, and releasing what is not. And so what's our root cause of our situation is that we have heart, that we are reaching up with heart toward the divine, and that we are able to discern, to take in information, to take in connection, and let go what isn't serving us. And that's beautiful for a reading about love. In the upper left corner, we have what might be our fears or challenges in this situation. What are we afraid of with regards to love? What is our challenge with regards to love? The letter P. And the letter P is the mouth. Maybe we're having trouble with speaking what needs to be spoken. This is lovely. We have the foundation of speech here, and we have the mouth here, just opposite. Maybe there's been some fear around speaking what's true, about saying what we need to say. And also, as a nice balance here, this is the 8, the infinity, and Pe is the 80, the ultimate manifestation of the infinite. It is 10 times 8, so it represents the infinite throughout time. The letter Pe begins the word Pa'am, which means time. And because it is speech and it's the mouth of the Creator speaking creation into existence, we need to remember that we can create our realities by speaking what we want to see in the world, instead of complaining about or lamenting what we don't have, to express gratitude and desires for what we do have or what we would like to see in our world. Pe is the binary transformation of grace and ugliness in the Sefer Yetzirah, that book of creation. So where do we land with regards to love on that continuum between beauty and ugliness? Where do we put ourselves? Where do we put love? Is love a beautiful thing? Is it full of poise and wonder, or is it something that's caused pain and ugliness in our lives? And how can we transform it? How can we move that cursor along the line from ugliness toward grace? I love that Pe rules over the planet Venus in the sky. It is the planet of love. So that's our challenge right now, that we have this challenge of speech, appropriate speech, challenge with the timelessness of love. Maybe that's a challenge, keeping it around, knowing that it's always there, knowing what we know, which is the love is infinite. It's ultimately infinite, and even if we fear it not staying, we can know that it is here for all time, that we are born of it, that the root cause is the heart, that it comes from the divine, that it is born from the divine and constantly transforming. And in the upper right corner, what is our advice for the situation now? What advice are we given for our situation right now with regards to love? Love of ourselves, love from the divine, love for another. And our letter is Resh. The letter Resh means head. It is, it's the first letter of the word Rosh, which means head, the head in the body, but also the head of time. So like the head of the month, Rosh Chodesh, the head of the year, Rosh Hashanah. And you can see that it's bent over like it's being humbled. It's the first letter of the word Rosh, which means a poor one, somebody who is humbled, perhaps humiliated, maybe. But maybe that's the advice here, to have a bowed head, to be humbled in the face of love. Maybe begin something new. Resh means a new beginning, like in the first letter of the Torah, Bereshit. Resh is right there in it. In the beginning there was love. It is the binary transformation of seed and barrenness. So again, we have that continuum from the Sefer Yetzirah saying that we could have seed, plant something new, or we can become barren. And that's true in love. That we can plant seeds of love and not sit around waiting for it coming to us. If we plant those seeds of love, that barren land will become fertile. That something new can be born. I love that Resh has this multiple meaning of a beginning with the Rosh, with the head, and Rasha, which means wickedness. So there can be challenges and poor decisions with new beginnings as well. It does correspond a rule over the planet Mercury in the sky, which is about communication. Again, we have the mouth here and the foundation of speech here, and the planet Mercury in the letter Resh. So again, something about communication, starting something new, communicating effectively, using our words for goodness and humility instead of for wickedness. That seems to be the advice for us here right now. Begin anew. Maybe begin anew every day with love, in love. And I'm going to pull out one more Hebrew letter for the center, which is our outcome. And of course, this is timeless reading, and everything changes and everything transforms as we see. But right now, when you're finding this, what is the outcome of our love situation that we're looking for, that we're in the midst of, that we're always in, that is eternal and infinite for us? We have the Ein Sof. Beautiful. The infinite again. So this is the blank. This is the blank disc that I leave in each of my sets. And it represents that without end, that eternity. I love that. So what we know about the love in our life is that it's endless, that it existed before time. This Hebrew represents the void, the tohu vavohu, the tahom, the deep, that which existed before creation, the primordial chaos. It's about the infinite again, about oneness, all of existence and matter and time being fashioned from that oneness. That before creation existed, all was love, all was the infinite, all was divinity. and the divine needed to contract themselves in order to create space to make the universe happen. That contraction is called Tzimtzum. And one of the names of the divine is Tzimtzumai, she who makes space. I love that contraction is the word we use for someone about to give birth, that contraction that happens in the uterus allows a birth to happen. And since we have a womb up here with the Tet, I love that the Ein Sof showed up here with the idea of Tzimtzum. It's about time before time and after time, eternity. All were, are, and will be that one. The beingness exists out of love. And our outcome is to know that eternity existed before anything, and that eternity existed in love. That it's a pool of love out of which each thing in the universe was fashioned. That it is the primordial material out of which we are made and to which we will return. That we're all made of the same stuff, that every aspect of this is made of the same stuff. The stone, the light, the metal, the plants, the wood, me, you, the guy down the street, everything, all animals, all beings, all matter is made up of divinity, is made up of love. I think that's just beautiful for this love reading today. And I'm going to pull out one of my Sovereign Oracle cards just to have a word affiliated as well with these messages we're getting. There it is. Astral vision. Interesting. This is what it says. Astral vision. Use your higher sight. Map out what's destined to be. Breathe. And take small steps. 3D takes time to manifest. Let me set that here. So, astral vision. Yeah, using your higher sight to map out what needs to be. And understand that everything takes time and small steps. That's beautiful. So we start out with our divine guidance, our divine, what's coming down from divinity is the letter Tet, which means a womb or a cup, the goodness within a thing, that we have this potential for birth, that we have something gestating, that we have love within us that is wanting to come out into the world. What we know about our situation is life, the foundation of speech, that love is alive in us, that love is alive in the world, that there is the necessity for speaking that love into existence, and that it is infinite, that we have this infinity, the number 8 here. What's yet to be seen is the hay meaning being present with love, remaining present with love. It's the foundation of sight, being able to see love in all things, being able to see that every circumstance is filled with love, whether we can immediately recognize it or not. And our root cause is the lamed, the lev, the heart that is reaching up toward the divine, that is taking in information, taking in matter, and discerning what is useful for us and what is not, and letting that go. We continue to reach up toward divinity. Our fear may be about speaking. It's a mouth here, maybe Maybe there's fear around the mouth, a fear around whether love is infinite, but we know it is. We know that it comes from divinity. We don't need to be afraid or concerned about that, but we do need to change our speech from speaking about ugliness and moving instead toward grace, moving toward beauty, moving toward what we'd like to see in the world instead of harping on what we don't like with regards to love. Calling in what we'd like to see, creating with our voice what we'd like to see in our life, in our love. And our advice is to begin, Resh. Start something, plant a seed. Plant a seed and nourish it. Maybe with some humility, maybe with a little bit of a bowed head. But plant something, and our outcome is the Ein Sof, that without end, eternal love, coming from and returning to eternal love. It's a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you see the love in your life today. I hope you're able to speak it into existence, that you are able to recognize it, its infinite nature in all things, that you can plant a new seed, reach up with heart toward the divine who is telling you there is goodness within. We'll see you here next time. Chodesh Tov.